It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Don't cry. Please don't cry. Okay. Ah! Everything is going wrong. Ah! Are you gonna let me do that? No. Oh dear. Georgie. Georgie. Oh, I think I need to feed him still. You can't see my boob, can you? Ah! When I tell you I just changed his nappy 2 minutes ago, would you believe me? I don't mind. It's just a bit inconvenient, that's all. Yeah. Yeah. Bless you. Bless you. Any more? No? Okay. Hi guys. My name is Avery. I'm 22 and I just had a baby. His name is George and he is 8 weeks and a couple of days. I haven't filmed a YouTube video before. I'm probably not going to be very good at it, and I'm probably going to be a bit like nervous, so just bear with me, okay? Okay? This video is a bit of a like chit-chatty Q&A about my pregnancy, labour and postpartum experience. I want to be honest about what the experience is really like, because I think in our culture we tend to like approach pregnancy is kind of a really taboo subject, especially like the labour and postpartum part. No one really talks about it. No one's really honest about it. So, if this helps anyone, or if it helps anyone not feel so alone. Oh, he's going to be the star of the show. Look at him. He's so cute. I asked on Instagram for people to ask me just things that they were curious about. So, we'll start with pregnancy. First question is, how did I find out I was pregnant? I found out I was pregnant because I was having lots of symptoms. What symptoms do you get, you guys? This is one of the things that I wish people had told me. Everyone knows about things like your boobs changing and missing your period. But when I read you this list, you guys, this is to not scare you, but to prepare you if you ever want to have a baby. Hot sweats, increased urination, constipation, tender and swollen breasts and nipples, nausea, dizziness, lightheadedness, dry skin, depression, anxiety, missed periods, spotting, increased thirst, change in discharge, cramping, food aversion, fatigue, mood swings, back pain, round ligament pain, heightened sense of smell, unusual hair growth, excess drooling, forgetfulness, carpal tunnel, etc. It goes on. It depends on who you are. It's different, but all of those I'd say I experienced in just the first month. If you just found out you're pregnant, buckle your seatbelts. Okay, this one. Why didn't I take emergency contraceptive? I actually did take it. I actually took it a couple of days afterwards because... Excuse me? I took it a couple of days late because I wasn't able to get anywhere that could supply me with emergency contraception. But even if you do take it the same day, it's not 100% effective. Nothing is. Only not having sex is the only way that you won't definitely get pregnant. Yeah? Was I worried about telling people? Yes. Pretty much everyone I knew is religious. So having a child outside of wedlock is not like is frowned upon. Because I'd grown up in a Christian household, I did feel very ashamed and very like guilty about it for the first few months. I don't anymore. Like, I don't regret a single thing. Because my partner is well known, my biggest fear is that people would think I did it on purpose for some kind of financial gain, which isn't the case obviously, but it did happen. But you know, we moved. Did I have morning sickness? Yes. The thing about morning sickness is it's 24/7, okay? It's not just in the morning, and it's not just vomiting. For me, I didn't actually throw up, but okay. From weeks 5 to 14, I was super nauseous. The way I can best describe it is feeling car sick. So I actually used those car sickness bands that you put on your wrists. Oh damn. Okay. You can see it. I knew I'd regret wearing black. You don't wear black around babies. Should have known. Okay, where was I? What was the hardest part of pregnancy? The first trimester by far. It was really intense. My partner was away in Australia for 6 weeks when I found out. and along with me feeling a bit ashamed of myself, I ended up like staying in my room and not seeing anyone for a couple of weeks. Looking back now, if I'd known how supportive and happy everyone would have been for me, it would have gone very differently. If I had to describe each trimester, the first would be the most difficult. The second trimester would be when you have all the energy and you're all glowy and you're so excited and everything's wonderful. It is the best part. It's the best time. I missed that part. And then the third trimester, you start to get a bit uncomfortable. You can't sleep, you're peeing all the time, and you're just really excited to meet your little one, a bit impatient even. A really popular question was my cravings. I didn't really get many cravings, but I did develop pica, which is something actually I didn't know about. Pica is when you start to like crave non-edible objects. So for me, I really craved drinking and eating cleaning products, which sounds so weird. And now looking back, I'm like, what the heck? It isn't super common, but it does happen to a lot of pregnant women. One of the ways that I kind of eased the craving was to brush my teeth. The sudsy feeling makes you kind of feel like you're eating soap without, the dangerous effects of eating soap. Right, moving on to childbirth. Ooh, was I afraid of childbirth? Yeah, of course. I got asked like 20 times, does it hurt? No, not at all. It just feels like a little tickle as he's coming out, but other than that, easy breezy. I don't want to scare you, especially if you're pregnant and watching this, but I'd be doing a disservice to you if I said that it's not that bad. I'm going to be honest, it is most likely going to be the worst pain that you'll experience. That sounds awful saying that. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I'm trying to be helpful in case you are pregnant or you're planning on getting pregnant in the future, because doing education about pain relief or looking into things like hypnotherapy or finding the right birthing partner, if you kind of ignore it and say it's going to be fine, then you're going to be unprepared and you're going to set yourself up for something that could be quite a traumatic birth. I was just checking my boob isn't out because like my whole boob is out. Where was I when my water broke? This is something I didn't know either. Only like 15% of women, like their labour starts with the water breaking. So mine didn't actually even ever break. They had to break my waters right before I started pushing, so that never happened for me. How long was my labour? I knew that I was in early labour 27 hours before I gave birth, so I was having contractions then, but I was in active labour for 16 hours. Right, how long was I pushing for? I was pushing for 3 hours. I think the average is something like 40 minutes. My friend had a baby 2 days before me. She was pushing for 4 minutes and I pushed for 3 hours. I'll get into why that happened in a second. Did I get any pain relief? I set myself up with the idea of if I can't bear with the pain, I won't beat myself up. If I have pain relief, man, by the time I got to the hospital, I pretty much let them give me everything that they could to relieve the pain. It was, I couldn't cope with it. For a while I was like upset with myself. I couldn't cope with it. That's the reality of it, and I shouldn't be ashamed of that. I ended up having a hot bath at first with some codeine. That didn't really do much. It helped calm me down though, which was helpful. I had pethidine, which I hadn't wanted to take, but it sent me to sleep, which I think was something that I needed at the time. I had gas and air. It doesn't take away the pain. It kind of distracts you and sends you into like a really nice headspace. If you've ever been to a British house party, you've also tried gas and air. Epidural. This was wonderful. I went from being in the worst pain of my life to just being happy sitting there, just excited to meet my son. So onto why it took me 3 hours to push him out. By then I had been in labour for about 24 hours. I was so tired, like emotionally, physically, in every single way, and I couldn't feel anything. The epidural had completely numbed me. I was basically falling asleep while they were trying to get this baby out of me. The only thing that actually eventually got him out of me, they said like it's been too long. It's obviously going to get dangerous if he's sitting in the birth canal too long. They threatened me with an episiotomy, which is when they cut your vagina open with a scalpel. Can I say that word? They cut your lady parts open. And forceps, which is like metal clamps that they grab onto the baby's head and pull them out, and I just didn't want that. And that was all the motivation I needed to get him out of there. This is my favourite question. How did it feel holding him for the first time? It's my favourite memory ever. I remember like feeling him like come out, and I literally just reached down to grab him. I just remember so like vividly how warm he felt like in my arms, and so soft, and like having him on my chest. It felt like my whole life had been, I'm gonna cry. My whole life had been like leading up to that moment. You basically go from the worst moment of your life to the best moment of your life. Would I do it again? For a couple of days afterwards, I couldn't think about my labor without crying. I was telling everyone I think this might be my only baby. I couldn't ever do that ever again. But your brain has a good way of just deleting all of those memories. You just look down at your baby and you're like, oh, I want 10 more. Something I wish I'd known before I'd gone into labor. We kind of go like most of our lives without anyone really seeing our private areas, and then suddenly when you're in labor, you're having everyone peeping up, like looking up there, and you're having people literally stick their arm up there. It's uncomfortable and it can feel quite violating. But like if I kind of like let you know that this is something that happens, maybe it won't be so like violating for you, because it was for me. I don't want to scare you guys. I feel like the population is going to go down after this video because everyone's going to be like, I'm not having a baby. Okay, we're moving on to postpartum. It's called the fourth trimester. Basically, you're still carrying your baby 24/7. It's just now the baby is out and he's on your chest instead. Oh, he's asleep. Can you see him? How am I? This is a really nice question. The person who asked me said that people stopped asking her really quickly. I do feel like that does kind of happen. Everyone cares so much about you when you're pregnant. Strangers will do anything at a drop of the hat to help you, and suddenly the baby's here and people care more about the baby than you, and it can be hard. I'm really good to answer the question. I've been quite fortunate because my mental health has been like just fine, and I have a very content and healthy baby, and he sleeps really well. Yeah, I've been really lucky. Right, the changes to my body. If you're breastfeeding, your boobs are gonna flip and blow up, okay? Before I was pregnant, to say I was a B would be a stretch, okay? Guys, I had like no boobs. Just getting pregnant, my boobs went up like a cup size maybe, but I went from a tiny little B cup to a double D from breastfeeding. It's quite nice because I've always wanted boobs, and before I got pregnant, I was seriously considering a boob job. Now I've got the boobs of my dreams. Something that will probably happen, especially if you're my size, is you might get stretch marks on your boobs. You go from having no milk in your boobs, and then the baby comes and he's starting to like feed, and the process will begin. It takes like 5 days. So let's be real, stretch marks are probably gonna happen. Okay, I want to show you my stomach because previously I have struggled with my body image, and this is something I also really want to spread awareness for all the girls out there, and guys as well, if you're supporting your boo things. If you have low self-esteem, if you suffer with eating disorders, if you have body dysmorphia, and I know these things are really common, these things aren't going to go away just because you're pregnant, just because your body's doing this wonderful, miraculous thing. Just because that's happening doesn't mean that you're gonna feel that way, okay? Because I didn't. I feel so guilty saying this, but I was disgusted, like that my body was changing in a way that I couldn't control. I hated seeing it happen. Before I was pregnant, I was quite obsessive over keeping myself very toned and very, very slim. I was actually underweight before I was pregnant. So seeing myself like literally blow up was like, it was hard. Having to increase my calories to support 2 lives, that was hard. I don't feel proud saying this, but I want to be honest. Someone asked me if my body like bounced back. I'm not a huge fan of this whole idea because once you have a baby, you can't expect your body to ever be the same again. It won't. You most likely won't ever weigh as little as you did before. Basically, if you're like me anyway, your body's going from like a girl's body to a woman's body. So expect the change and welcome the change. It'll make you feel a lot better about yourself. Before, I kind of just went like straight down, and now I've got like curves here and like curves on my hips and on my bum. I just look more womanly. I am a woman now. I've got a baby. I'm a mother. My stomach is what I've struggled with most. I'll show you. I don't want to wake him up, so I'll try and be really gentle. I used to have a belly piercing. My stomach skin is too saggy at the moment, so, and my stretch marks. Okay. Alright, that has been really hard for me to deal with. I had a beautiful belly before. But there's things you can do, and I'm only 8 weeks postpartum, so it'll get better. During pregnancy, you rub lots of oils and creams on every single day. That's something I didn't do. Okay, how long does it take for your lady parts to heal? This is different for everyone depending on whether you had a C-section or if you tore. I tore. I actually haven't had sex yet. My partner is like away and he left at 4 weeks. Let me be real with you. We did try. I mean, who has time? I can't even fathom having time to like shave my legs. And you think I'm joking. I have not shaved my legs. Look at my leg. Can you see that? I don't have time to have sex. But that's another question. Sex postpartum. I can't fill you in on that one yet. Best advice for a woman about to experience postpartum. Accept all the help that you're offered and then ask for some more, okay? You're not gonna have time to do anything. And even when you do have time, take that time to rest. I think for about 4 weeks, I did nothing but just be there for my baby and for myself. Don't be ashamed of doing that. I'm talking to you guys like you're all like currently pregnant or all trying to get pregnant. My assumption is that you'll all either be pregnant at one point or know someone, be with someone who will be pregnant at some point, like your partner, your best friend, your sister, whatever. Okay, I feel like I've probably talked for ages and I feel like this might have been really boring. I hope not. But if you guys ever want to see me make a video again, just let me know. Maybe like comment below and be like, hey, I'd like to see a day in the life. That would be fun. You could watch me change nappies and breastfeed all day. Alright. I know you're probably disappointed at the lack of George content that you got. I want to show you guys my beautiful baby. Oh dear, guys, this is so cute. If you like this, let me know. If you want to see anything more from me, let me know. I think me and Adam might like film some stuff, like some vlogs maybe. Maybe some Christmassy stuff, that'll be fun. Alright, I hope I haven't talked your ears off. Say goodbye, George. Bye-bye. Bye.